Hey, all, my name is Kurt. I'm with this guy, Trenton, and he has got something weird and wacky for me today. He won't tell me exactly what it is. I was a little scared, but I have to admit it smells pretty wonderful back here.
There's a good reason for that. A lot of the comments and emails and messages that you get on Instagram and Facebook and everything,
sure.
I know revolve around like, what's a good starter bottle or stuff that kind of tends to deal more with the budget-esque bourbons and kind of more, I don't want to say just beginner messages, but like a lot of that knowledge comes from DMs and stuff that you get.
So what you're saying, I don't usually get a lot of messages about BTAC and Pappy.
That's more me.
That would be absolutely correct. I don't think I've ever gotten one, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah, so and so much so that I made an app to help keep track of pricing and stuff so you can be more an informed consumer. But what we're going to be doing today, because especially with you and your secondary prices, I know you've made the mistake of buying a George T. Stag for $700 and you bought that
Been there.
Kentucky Owl, whatever that, $1,000. I have to
bring that up. Of course,
everybody makes mistakes in their whiskey journey or whatever, and those are some years. I've made some myself, but one of the most interesting things is when you purchase a bottle and you realize the secondary value of it. Then you're like, oh, would I pay this much for this secondary bottle? So that's what we're going to be doing. And these four in particular, some of them I would pay secondary for, and there's some that I wouldn't pay secondary for. And this is not a video trying to promote secondary prices across, just kind of more of an educational thing. Like if you purchase something on secondary or these prices that are on secondary, do they always kind of match up to the quality of what you're getting?
I see.
So
you're guinea pigging me with whiskeys I have no idea what's in the glass to see what I would actually pay or overpay for.
Yeah. So what you're going to do, especially because you like to argue and you like your budget prices. So I figured this would be
I absolutely do not like to argue.
This would be a fantastic video, kind of an idea. So what's going to happen is that we have four of these. I know what these are. Kurt doesn't know what these are. They're all bourbons.
Okay.
These are all bourbons.
Okay.
I don't think none of these are finished. This is just like a straight bourbon coming from the source.
All right. So that's why it smells so good back here.
Yes.
Because obviously you're not going to give me some low-life bottle and try to trick me into what I would pay extra for.
No, we kind of did that in The Price is Right a couple weeks ago. It was like Jim Beam,
that's a whole other game.
Granddad 100 proof. We said with like $70 that we'd pay for it.
That's a whole other thing.
But these are all bottles that command some type of a secondary value.
Okay, gotcha.
So what we're gonna do is you're gonna try each one. I'm not gonna tell you what it is. We'll talk about it. I'll ask you what you think the like maybe MSRP is and what you would pay on a secondary market for. And then I'll reveal the price at the end.
I'll do my best.
I gotta look at my cheat sheet here because I honestly forgot what's in each one.
I mean, it's darn good. The smell back here behind the bar is fabulous. You all have no idea. I mean, it's wonderful. Toffee's brown sugar, a little bit of tobacco, and not an earthy, like a mellow pipe tobacco.
I don't know what that mellow pipe. I don't know what that means. I'm thinking like mellow yellow. Why do you know what that is?
Well, back in my day when I was younger, there was quite a few of the older folks that would light up a pipe now and then.
Oh, okay.
You don't really see that a whole lot anymore, do you? Now that I think about it. No, not really. Yeah.
We're not like in the Popeye era when he's huffing and puffing while he's working on a cruise ship and sending some spinach. You don't see much of that. This
is just lovely.
It
smells peanut buttery.
What? It reminds me of a tackle box. I'm not a fisher.
No.
But it's got some tackle box vibes.
Nice.
I do get peanut butter in it, which is weird because that's not something that I would necessarily expect. We've gotten that from a couple things, but not necessarily something of this caliber. I'll say that.
First swallow, man, that is fantastic. I have to admit.
It's like a peanut butter.
That is quintessential greatness.
Really?
It's really good.
Okay.
I like it a lot.
Okay.
I mean, I like it a lot. It's deep. It's rich. There's some depth.
Yeah. It doesn't taste like a tackle box. I actually think
He has no idea what he's even talking about, a tackle box.
Yeah, I used to fish when I was a kid. I got a hook stuck in my thumb, and I was running around the yard all frantic when I was a kid. I was about 6, and I just dug that hook right in. I was a fisher. I was a regular angler on the waters. They knew me as young T on the boat.
I took you on one fishing trip and you shoved a stick in Corey's ear. So that's kind of how that went.
I mean, I was fishing for your wax, but
yeah,
it didn't quite go as expected.
Y'all guess if you went on another fishing trip. No, he did not.
I'm not a big fisher. It's kind of boring to me, but I'm glad some people like it. I like being on the water. It's really relaxing and calm, especially in the morning. This is one of those ones.
I think it's good.
To quote you, kind of makes my mouth juicy.
It does.
And I'm upset about it, honestly. But all right, that was A.
It's very good.
That was A. Mm-hmm. We'll go on to B here, and we'll do
we're not going to talk about it right now.
We'll do the pricing there at the end.
All right.
Or wait, is that a good idea or no? So that you kind of know.
Well, my mind's fresh right now.
Okay, yeah, let's do that.
It's your game. It's your day. It's your video, your rules. I'll do whatever you want me to do.
Tell me what you would pay for it, what you think it might be, and then.
Well, of course, when I sip something, I'm gonna hope it's under $100.
Okay.
I would be thrilled if it was around $80. To be honest with you.
Okay.
I'd be thrilled.
Yeah.
If it was. So, I mean, knowing, I'd also have to know the exclusivity of the bottle itself too, and how hard it is to find. Because if this is, let's say for example, if this is one of the better Elijah Craig barrel proofs, you could probably end up finding one. Now, a question would be, I'm just rolling with this.
Yeah,
right
yeah.
now. It's in my mind now, right?
Yeah.
As you know, one of my favorite all-time Elijah Craig barrel proof releases was the C919, right? How much would I actually pay for a C919? Something that was released in 2019 that fit my palate and I thought was fantastic. As you all know, Elijah Craig barrel proofs around $70-$80. I'd probably pay $125 or so for that bottle just to have it again.
Okay.
I think over there I have that much left in the last bottle I had. So
I will say that this is a unicorn bottle, and it was released once.
Yeah, okay. So that helps me.
Yeah.
So if you can give me a few tips.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
But you see where I'm coming from with using the
that's a good
analogy of
point.
the Elijah Craig.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So if this was sincerely a unicorn and something that most everybody would like on their shelf, I would assume, and it was only released once and it's hard to come by. Now, please keep in mind, this is a hard show for me because I have a whole different mindset now than what I used to have. That's what I think,
yeah.
I came to that T in the road where you had a right or a left-hand turn, and I just don't really want to pay those, high secondary prices anymore. We can talk another $20 or something, but I don't want to pay. I've done that. Like I paid that $700 for the George T Stag. I think my first Blanton's trend was $150. I paid for that at the time.
I almost paid $120 for a Blanton's because I was really excited about it.
Hey, I'm with y'all. I am with you all. So for me, on this bottle, Trenton, I think it's very good. I really do. And if it was very elusive and it only came out once, I mean, I would pay $150 for that bottle or $200 for the bottle, probably.
Okay.
And forgive me, because once he reveals, I'll be more than honest with you after that. If I change that or if I feel it might be more.
Yeah.
Again, this is a hard game because I've switched my brain off on all that.
Yeah. Well, we'll keep your stuff up on the screen, and then I'll tell you what this is and what the secondary is, and then you can kind of parlay your thoughts on that. So we'll go on.
Let's do it. Let's do it. It's going to be. I'm kind of excited though because this is all great stuff.
Yeah.
So I am excited.
We don't really usually do just like a really banger blind usually.
No, we don't.
I like this.
Well, I try, in my mind, and correct if it's wrong. If my mindset's wrong, please let me know. You guys are great in the comments. You're very helpful. But if we put out a blind with a bunch of elusive bottles that a lot of people can't get, to me, what does that help? What folks does that help out there?
Really doesn't.
Might be comedy for us just if I put something really great in last place, but past that, I don't feel like it's helpful. But if you like to see that though, there's an entertainment factor to it too.
I mean, we have done that before though, where like Weller 12 came in last place for like a budget or blind.
Yeah.
And I think that was cool because it showcases that there's some shelf stable stuff that really outranks and outperforms in blinds compared to like an allocated product that might just get normally overlooked because everybody's after a specific Weller 12 or whatever the case may be.
Sure. Okay.
Got a nice cherry note on this.
Yeah. Right off the bat on the first sip, I don't like it as much as A that you gave me.
These were placed in a very specific order. I will tell you that much. I might have been overthinking the process, but I was excited about this because I had a bunch of different ones that I was like, okay, if I was out traveling and I walked into a liquor store and I saw it on a glass case or on the back of the shelf behind the counter or something, and it had a specific price tag on it, would I buy it? And these were all things that I probably would.
Yeah.
Well, 3 out of the 4.
Yeah, I had to take a second sip. The second sip was a lot better than the first sip. The first sip kind of adjusted to what was in glass A. Mm-hmm. Dark, rich. This is not that. It's not dark like that.
Yeah.
Okay. But man, it's darn good as well. There's definitely some sweetness there. There's like I want to say chestnut note coming at me.
Dude, I could honestly get that a little bit. I don't know what a chestnut is.
And that's why I almost didn't say it.
Fire.
I've said it several times. I've ate a few when I'm trying to cook, when I'm doing my best to make my own dressing. It's been a while since I've done it, but...
You make dressing with chestnuts?
You can, yes.
So, okay, this is going to sound weird, but when I think of something like a ranch dressing or something that is like more of a large company made it, like a ketchup or something, ranch dressing, Italian dressing, I'm like, can we actually make those things? And I'm like, well, yeah, duh. But it just seems like when I hear dressing, I think of something you just get at the store that comes pre-bottled, not like unless you're at like a nicer restaurant. What do you think of this one?
I do like it.
Okay.
I think it's very good. I wouldn't overreach it as much as I would for Glass A. Okay. I don't think it's, and I'm going to say this with quotation marks, I don't think it's fabulous.
Okay.
And again, keep it in the terms of what we're doing today. However, I do think it's very good. I mean, I'd pay $100 for the bottle.
Okay.
I really wouldn't pay a ton more.
Okay.
I probably wouldn't.
Okay. That's good to know. On to C.
We'll see if it's good to know.
Oh.
Well, you're getting your angel singing down pretty well now.
I'm trying to join a choir.
Ooh, we're going right back to that peanut buttery type.
Oh yeah, baby. I had to put like a cone in the middle of your lane there, swerve around it and go a different direction.
That's all right.
Back on pace with this one.
That's all right. Yeah.
That's lovely.
It is. It's rounded. It didn't have the molasses. It didn't have quite the dark notes as this one does, but it's definitely a little richer than this one. The toffee note in there is really nice.
It just smells smooth. Like
Excuse me.
It's got that. You don't
I
do
know.
that. Wow.
I certainly apologize. I try to lead a better example for Trent than that.
I don't know that that's worked too well. I just let him rip at this point.
That's rude.
Okay, wow. Some of these I don't have too often, I will say that. So this one is a little bit of a breath of fresh air for me. It's really... I'm going to try and not talk as much in this video so that you can...
Why?
Because we're going to put you on the spotlight here. This video is all about you.
Okay. I think it's wonderful. I think it's stepped up a little bit in viscosity on this one too. Did you find?
Yeah.
I found it to be nice and thick on the palate, mouth coating. A lot of good things so far.
That's got a super nice viscosity. It's really smooth, honestly. Like it's, and I don't, that definitely has something to do with the mouthfeel, but it's like one tone of a mouthfeel, but it's really nice all the way through. It's oily. That's one of these ones that's oily. It's not creamy, it's not thin, it's just like coats the mouth really nice.
Yeah, I like it a lot. It doesn't quite, it's a little richer than Glass B. Not quite as rich as Glass A, in my opinion. A lot of great flavors in that, for sure, too, as well. My opinion, I'm sure, on all these is that I hope they're less than $100 or $100 or a little less, but...
let me give you this little piece of info, too. This is an annual release, however, it differs from year to year. So this came out probably 6 years ago, and it is a unicorn status bottle.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that has anything to do in your decision making, but just some pieces of information that you might be able to use to your advantage. Kind of like a Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, but it's like phone a friend. I'm just telling you the information. Ask the audience.
Sure.
Ask the co-host. I don't know.
Well, I have to say this. I think it's very good. I really like the step up in the viscosity in this one. I think that's the highlight of the sip, as Trenton mentioned too. It's a super smooth sip as well. I think there is some proof there, but it's hard to find. It's hard to tell. It's really smooth. However, on the flavor, the palate itself, I wouldn't really rank it in my favorite unicorn status. Something that I would overpay drastically to get.
Okay.
Now that I've tasted it.
Yeah.
I think it's excellent.
Okay.
But, is it something I would just, there's some bottles I've had here that I just, honestly, that Japanese bottle I had, the Hibiki 21 year, if somebody danced that in front of my face for $300 or $400, I'd have to think hard and long about that.
I would do that in a heartbeat.
But this one here, I would have to stick with that 100, 150 mark or something like that in there. But it wouldn't quite rank as high as this one so far. Okay. This one's been the killer for me.
All right.
So,
last but not least, on letter D. I mean, it's spicy. Really kicks you in the nostrils.
Yes, it does. You're right there.
This one was just kind of nice, well-rounded.
It was. Yeah.
Wants to hug you a little bit.
Yes.
It's like your
really good.
It's like your grandma you see around the holidays.
Really perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect analogy. Really good.
And then this one's like that uncle from
this is the one that's
Lampoon's Christmas.
You down.
It's like Lampoon's Christmas Vacation or whatever. The uncle with the toilet's full or whatever. It's like that guy. It's a little bit more rough around the edges.
Wow. Yeah, it's singeing some nose hairs, but still the aromas are pretty good.
Yeah, the aromas are fantastic. I will say, I think this is the proofiest of the bunch.
I can tell.
This is considered a rare bottle. I wouldn't quite put this in a unicorn type of a status.
Yeah.
It's not an annual release. It is available nationwide. I don't know the availability, but I know it's not just like one time a year.
I'm gonna take another sip, but again, I'm the one. I'm not the guy that's super fond of real hot whiskeys.
Yeah.
This tends to come off that way on the first sip to me. So right off the bat, it's not one of my favorites because of that. So I'm going to concentrate on the flavor profile and other things. The second sip.
I was really trying. It is a little bit peppery. I've been really trying. Well, with this lineup in particular, I've been trying to go back to different videos we've done, see how different brands and different reviews go, and how different allocated bottles kind of align in terms of our rankings. Mm-hmm. And this is like a culmination of. I did research for this video. I know. Yeah.
What?
I know.
This might be an SLB first.
I was trying to stump you just a smidge. I don't know that I did. Well, I don't know if I did. But.
It doesn't take much.
Yeah,
I will say this has a lot going for it.
Yeah.
Okay. Speaking outside of what I would normally prefer, so we're not even going to discuss that because everybody already knows that. I think it's aggressive. It stands up and it demands attention from whoever's going to be sipping that.
Yeah.
I think the flavor profile is really good too. It's not dark, and rich. And I say rich. When I say that, I'm talking about like the dark brown sugars, dark molasses stuff, that kind of stuff. This one here tends to lay for me more around the caramels and that framework of sweetness.
Yeah.
But it's a whiskey that really I'd be like that with my eyes. I'd be like, for the first sip, like, oh, okay.
That's why
we talk about smack you around a little bit.
That's why I put it last, just so you had a little bit of time to kind of warm up and get used to some of the proof points. This is the hottest one of the four that we've done. But
Another sip even. It's darn good.
It gets better as you sip it.
It's darn good.
You just got to get used to that.
That's
fruit.
one I've got to get used to. And he's right. I'm just not that fond of high proof or hot whiskeys per se.
Which is interesting because some of that Elijah Craig stuff drinks like fire. and I honestly don't mind. I don't mind high proof stuff, but some of the Elijah Craig with that like peppery note that you get in there, it just kind of smacks you around.
Yeah.
More than it does this for me. But that's all. It's all palate preference, right?
Yeah. I think it's very good, dude. I really do. I like that a lot.
Okay.
Actually.
Okay.
That's one I wouldn't break out often. Probably all of these I wouldn't. So
yeah.
In general terms, it's just I'd have to be in the mood for that proof. But I like it. I probably would overpay a little bit over in that one.
What would you pay
I know
for
that's probably hard to say, but I probably would a little bit. You know.
Well, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna start with A.
Yeah, let's do that.
I'm gonna tell you what the price is. I'm gonna tell you if you'd pay for it.
Okay.
If you'd buy it at that price, and then I'll bring the bottle.
Once I see things too, I can give a bit more honest answers.
Yeah.
Because I'll be able to recognize it and be able to filter in my mind how elusive it is or not or whatever.
Well, this is going to be interesting because I didn't bring out any of the bottles and put them in a box beforehand. So I'm going to tell you what it is.
All right, that's all right.
A's a tough one because I've seen the price, like the range is off like $100, anywhere from $100 to $200. This goes for $350 to $550.
Doesn't surprise me.
On secondary market.
That doesn't surprise me at all. That's my favorite sip of the day. And just so everybody, I mean, I think you probably got that from me, but that's my favorite sip of the day for me.
Knowing the price.
Yeah.
If you like, well, let's just assume you can get it at the bottom of the range for a secondary price. Mm-hmm. Are you paying $350 for it?
I love it, dude. I flippin' love that sip. You're putting me on the spot because it's hard for me because I switched. Like I said, I've totally kind of just not. I wasn't going to do it anymore. But you know, I mean, I'd pay more than what it's worth. That's for sure. Put it up there and I'll see.
This is Maker's Mark Cellar Aged.
Yeah, I kind of, you know, that's so good. It's so good.
I went back to this. I snuck a pour. I think the last time we had a live stream, and I was like, man, this is a lot better than I thought it was originally, and I liked it originally. So. There was a lot of mixed opinions, too, about this bottle.
I think, honestly, that bottle's opened up even more than what it was before.
Oh, 100%.
Because it wasn't that rich to me before. It just wasn't.
It's nice. It's opened up really.
It is wonderful.
I'll say that.
At this point. Now, would I pay $350 for it? Now that I see it, probably not. Would I pay $200 for it to get another one? Knowing how good it is, I probably would. Okay.
All right. Well, this next one is going to surprise you too, I think.
I am shocked at that reveal, to be honest with you. I wasn't expecting a Maker's Mark product on this first one.
I had to do it. B, Weller Antique. And you said you would pay about $100 for this bottle?
Yeah.
And that's about what secondary is for.
Yeah, it's lovely.
From 90 to like 90 to $120. And this has kind of climbed in a secondary market, and then things like Weller Full Proof CYPB Single Barrel and Weller 12 have kind of fallen a little bit.
Yeah.
Weller 12 I'm seeing for like 150, 175 range now.
Yeah, and I can see that because I mean, there's some folks I'm sure that love it.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm happy for that. But that's one I'm going to get in Trenton's corner on. The proof would help immensely with that bottle.
What?
I have
Weller
to.
12?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I have to. You know, normally we'll have some arguments about that, but not on that one. It was hard for my palate to adjust after this here that I thought was really fabulous. But great bottle.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorites.
Now, do you recall anything about C? This is the one that was like pretty viscous, had a nice oily mouthfeel. What you pay for that?
Yeah.
What would you pay for that?
Oh, I don't know, dude. Come on now.
Well, this bottle goes anywhere. This is about $300 to $350 on the secondary market. And like I said, this is like a unicorn status bottle. Came out about 6 years ago. This is Wild Turkey Master's Keep. This is the 17-year bottle and bond.
Yeah, that's one of the good ones too.
And I'll just say this right now.
One.
I paid secondary for this. I saw it on, can't remember what I saw it on, but I drove down to Indy. This was a birthday gift for him. I drove down to Indy and picked this up, and I paid $300 for it.
Oh, what? See, now you made me feel bad.
Why? You're not going to get something of this caliber that came out this long ago for not that price.
It is so good, guys. Honestly, it really is. I'm going to take one more sip, but it's, wow. These are tough questions. This is a hard show. This is very hard for me now that I've reached to the point of I am in my bourbon, purchasing and hunting world.
Well, it's different. It's interesting too. I asked our patrons on Discord what are some bottles that they would pay secondary for, just to see what caliber of bottles people are coming out with. Is there a certain brand or a certain bottle in particular that tends to fall in that category? This was one of them. I didn't see anything about this one or this one.
Yeah.
I also saw some stuff about our next one.
I have to be honest. I try to be honest on this channel at all costs. Sometimes it embarrasses me. It is what it is. I don't think I'd pay $300 for that bottle to have it again. But I think I would enjoy it immensely while I have it. And when it's gone,
it's gone.
It's gone.
And it's interesting too because you have Master's Keeps coming out now that are $250 MSRP. And I think when this came out, it was either it was $150 MSRP.
Yeah.
So it going for double, for a 17-year Wild Turkey product, I would not purchase this for $300 on a secondary unless it was a gift for somebody. That's the exception I will make. But I'm just not a big Wild Turkey fan to begin with. So that's not really going to lean towards my preference anyways.
Well, I am. And I'd pay $150 to get it again.
Oh, heck yeah.
Without question.
I'd pay $150.
Without blinking my eyeballs.
Yeah.
If somebody had it, say, hey, just give me $150 for it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I couldn't personally pull out the $300 for it.
I just realized they make a little Oreo sandwich out of this, where it's the copper washers, and then the centerpiece is a little bit of a cream filling. I like that for that. Last but not least was D.
Yes.
This was the guy that was a little bit peppery. This was the guy that had a little
hot
bit
one
to it.
That's right. One. Yes. Okay. Yep. Yeah. The one that woke me up and slaps me around, says, "By golly, take notice."
And I don't know if it's because I said Oreo just now, but I get this a little bit of an Oreo cookie type of a thing. It's really nice.
That's really good. It is good. Hot. It's still hot though.
Yeah. This is on the rarer side. This goes anywhere from $225 to $275.
Okay.
Blanton straight from the barrel.
Ooh, that's good.
In my opinion, one of the best Blantons that comes out, the straight from the barrel. Something that benefited a ton from a lot of proof. Again, this is a single barrel. So you might get a bottle that's great. You might get a bottle that's, exceptional. It's just whatever comes out of that barrel, and they dump it and toss it in the bottles.
Now, you're talking a whole other animal because A, it's Blanton's.
Yep.
Right? B, it's straight from the barrel, which most folks would tell you that's their favorite of the Blanton's lineup.
It ranks highly.
Rightfully so. We've done blinds. We did the live stream with the Blantons.
Yeah.
It's so much better than most any other of the Blantons releases. It's great. I pay a couple $100 to get another one.
If I currently don't have one, I've been seeking one, and I will say if I walked into a store and I saw one for anywhere from about $250 or below, I would buy one. And this is just because I don't have one right now, but I think the point of the video really was just to see if the juice that you're getting in it is actually worth what the secondary price is, especially when you have brands like High West with their Midwinter Nights Dram that's just become way too expensive for my liking. I think it's almost just below $200 now for those releases, which I will probably not purchase. You have things like this Wild Turkey Generations that was $500 for MSRP, not secondary, but they're doing that so that the MSRP kind of matches up with the secondary. They're incurring the cost, so it's almost like a secondary price kind of thing anyways.
Which I have to say, the story on the Generations bottle, I told Trenton, do not get one. But as usual, since Trenton's been a little kid, he doesn't listen.
No,
he doesn't listen too well. He got one anyways. However, I have to admit, it's really good.
Yeah.
It's very good. Is it worth $500? No.
No.
It's not worth $500, but it's very good.
I think too, if there are bottles like this, if I could find these for $90, I honestly I would buy these all day long. I think they're fantastic. I've never really been let down by a Weller Antique, and I think it's I think it's the best product in the Weller lineup, minus the William LaRue Weller, which is an annual thing. But if there are bottles that you would 100% pay a secondary price for, I'm happy for you, because I'm not going to sit back here and tell you that I wouldn't, because half of these up here I would, and I would do that happily with bells on.
Yeah. You know, guys, I think the moral of this whole video is to share that you're the consumer, you're the customer. There's no judgments here. We will do our best to give you honest opinions and honest reviews. What you do with that is what you do with that. So if you're the happiest camper that you're able to find a Blanton's straight from the barrel and you paid $250, $300 for, and it just thrills you beyond belief, and you're not a flipper, that's a whole nother video, because let's not go there.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh, let's not go there. But if you open it, you share a little bit, you only sip on it in some special occasions, and that bottle lasts you 3 years, I think it's a win.
Yeah.
I really do. I think it's a win if you're able to do so.
Yeah.
So you're the boss.
I know. Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Well, I've said that a million times.
Yeah. If there's a bottle that you would pay secondary for if you found it, I would very much be interested to hear your thoughts in the comments.
Me too.
I feel like a secondary market is going to exist for anything at any given point, no matter what the product is. So if there's something that you've been eyeing, that you've seen, on, I don't know, Craigslist, on Facebook Marketplace, or Facebook groups, whatever the case may be, that you have purchased for a secondary price and you're more than happy that you did for whatever you got it for, let us know in the comments. I would be very interested to hear what you bought, how much you bought it for, if you care like sharing, and if you were happy with the purchase.
Yeah, please do. I'll leave you with this, guys, and this is just from me, just an old bird that enjoys drinking some whiskey now and then, not a professional. I've overpaid on a couple bottles. My Hibiki 21 year was $750, if I'm not mistaken. I bring it up again because it's a bottle that I enjoyed immensely. I thought it was fabulous. I had it for a minimum of 3 years, and I enjoyed every sip. And my other son Corey would come over, and we would have a little sip of it now and then. And it's gone. I kept the bottle. It's empty.
Yeah.
Now, would I buy another one for $750 or $1,000? Probably not. No.
Yeah.
But let me be honest with you. Am I happy I had that for 3 or 4 years in the bar and have the memories that came from that and the beautiful sips that came from that bottle? I am happy that I had that bottle. So take that for what it's worth. I know a lot of folks out there, they stick with a strict budget. I think that's great too. Whatever works for you. But in these bottles, and some of the other whiskeys as well, there's tons of memories. There's tons of good times and fellowship to be had with friends and family. And if we overpay a little bit here and there, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's all right. So that's all we have for you today. I hope you enjoyed the show. This is Trenton's idea, but I had fun with it. I really did.
I'm glad.
It was a brain teaser for me. It really was. It was a brain teaser, but thank you for doing it.
Got to keep you on your toes.
Yeah. All right, guys. Hey, whatever you do, July 4th is tomorrow, right? Have a safe and happy holiday with your family and friends. Be careful, but have a great time. We'll see you next time, right down here with Trent and me in the good old basement Bourbon Bar. See you later.